Morning everybody, Sunday morning, day 3 of shelter, and I hope it's a beautiful day in your region wherever you are. And it certainly is beautiful out here today as well. Yesterday after my post, and we spoke about the comfort zone and being out of our comfort zone and starting the conversation around emotions. I got a number of calls from people privately around situations that they're experiencing, the range of emotions that started from being highly frustrated, grateful, panicky, a lot of anxiety, frustration, uncertainty. And of course, we know that all of those emotions play havoc with us if we're not actually making contact with them. So one of the most important things we want to do around emotions is actually validate them by giving them a name. We say that we name it to tame it. And emotions really are really just wanting to be validated so that we can understand what's going on inside for us. And that's really at the heart of what emotional intelligence is being smarter with our feelings, and then of course bringing our thought processes and our emotions and our behaviors together. And that's how we become quite masterful around emotions. So sticking with emotions, really importantly this morning, is throughout this process and hopefully practicing it and honing a skill set around your emotions, is first and foremost asking yourself what your relationship is with emotions. If you come from a household where emotions were not necessarily spoken about or allowed to be portrayed, if it was always shut down, typical things like cowboys don't cry. So immediately we think that emotions are weakness. Whatever that might be for you, emotions are really, really important. So if you're one of those people today that don't really engage with emotions, push them away, say that emotions are unhelpful, please know today that all emotions are helpful. Those that are seemingly good and bad. And of course there are no good or bad emotions, no positive or negative. They're all helpful across the spectrum. And later or today I will also post a beautiful plutchik model, which is a really stunning model of looking at the basic 8 emotions that we need to really be able to engage with. And you'll notice that there are emotions on various spectrums, and looking at the opposites of them that also intensify. And it's really important to be able to work with intensified emotions as well, like things of terror or rage or, deeper forms of anger. So really importantly is to ensure that you're making contact with your emotions, name it, and then try and understand where that emotion is coming from. So often a great question is to ask yourself, what about the situation is creating this? And then to get to the deeper meaning for yourself. It could be a good example is I'm feeling a lot of fear right now. And what about the situation is creating the fear? The fact that I'm powerless. And of course, a lot of our needs would come into play here as well, because remember, behind every emotion lies a need being met or not being met. So you might want to check in with yourself as to, what need is not being met at the moment that is actually driving this emotion for you. And so I think that's a good place for us to stop today, is really to encourage you to connect with your emotions, understand where they're coming from so that you can validate them and start to transform and navigate them. But we'll get into that part of it another day. For today, just try and keep connecting with yourself. What am I feeling? What are my thoughts associated with that? And of course, starting to look at your patterns that actually come from that. Have an awesome day, and I'll connect with you tomorrow.